Hello everyone on PvZ Madness channel. As always, in the middle of the week we have myths, bugs, what if questions and other madness that constantly happens in the game. If you like my content, please give me a like to motivate me to keep running this channel. If you have already done so, let's get to the video. This week I want to start with Lilies. In the root video I talked about how the developers changed the mechanics of this plant and now it's completely feral. Now I'm going to prove it to you. As I've already shown you, now the fisherman can hook Lilies like a normal plant. Secondly, they don't land on sand, which basically kills their usefulness. You can't plant the Monday plant in anticipation of a wave and now you simply have nothing to protect plants already planted on land from the waves. But you can place a plant on a lily pad and the fisherman can't move it, and we will give him a good smack. But that's not all. For some reason thorns don't work like that. The fisherman hooks the lily and thorns jump after their springboard, and with one throw the fisherman pulls this duo on two cells. It's a dog madness. And at the end he throws them behind his back and their spikes will even damage all the zombies walking along that lane. I don't know what was in the developers' heads when they did it, but I can tell you that Bramble Bash, unlike thorns, doesn't allow you to move a lily pad. One more thing. Despite that I said that this plant is not landed on sand, it can be coded there. From land the fisherman doesn't hook the lilies, neither he hook any plants that is landed on them. So you understand, right? Now all plants gain Blockless ability to resist the fisherman, and the Blockle itself becomes worthless. In fact, the average tall walnut is now like a Blockle, except it doesn't have closing flaps. What a mess our favorite game makers have made. I'm sure this is not all the surprises with Lilies, I'll leave them for later. Move on from the lily pads to the fisherman. As you notice, now he's on land, or rather on the pool, to which he doesn't react. And if we add a pinch of time to the composition, we will get another madness. Our fisherman is now forced to react to the pulls, and this leads to such a perpetual motion machine. By the way, the fisherman doesn't lose his skill, he successfully pulls plants, but because of the constant displacement looks not quite as usual, but we are better off. But what's a little disappointing is that Betted cannot attract fishermen, and I wanted to get him out of this eternal trap, it didn't work. Anyway, it's still first-rate madness, let's move on. I'll continue the displacement theme and send Gag outside the lawn, and check where he throws the imp. Gag shifted and threw the imp outside the lawn too, except the imp self-destructs for some reason. In fact, a thrown imp can't tolerate being outside the lawn, but if the imp is lowered with a pull, it won't die. That's an anomaly. But it's not all, and what happens if the imp is not simple, and Siamese? For this, change Gag to Circus, explode, and then it turns out that the imps are not destroyed but disconnected, one imp flies to the top, and the second? And the other one goes with him. It's so nice of the game to leave the brothers together, and alive too. How about this? As the prospector flies over, I feed Peer and we get an imp, but the body of the prospector remains. It falls apart on landing, but that's nothing, let's make a small change. We have 3 Peers now, and I'll make them ult at the same time when the bearded man flies over them. With a little dexterity and a little luck, this is the madness. One prospector generates 3 imps at once. It's not useful, but I don't care about it. The main thing is that we got PvZ Madness. And here's some more cool PvZ Madness for you. Basically we need to use time on the Thug Pirate, and as soon as he appears we immediately need to throw him up with Levitator. And after these manipulations we get a zombie that doesn't sink in the sea. We got a dead man walking on water, so we can say that now we are witnessing a miracle. And all of this can be made even worse by dropping off a bouncy Bob, who in all this madness becomes a no-kill for a thug. The pirate will eat it endlessly and won't go any further, however he won't be thrown off either. All in all, it's ecstasy, time, Levitator and Bob in one video, and so crazy, I think it deserves a like. Bull and Bramble Bash are already becoming regulars in my plots. This time you need to teleport the Bull and at that moment plant the Bramble Bash under him. The zombie becomes invincible to the thorn bush while being completely paralyzed and bound to the plant, just like in the situation with the escape route. Now you can get this funny situation with Ankylosaurus, who hits the bully and the bully has to go back and get hit in the back of the head with the lizard's mace again. And all this can be observed for a very long time, but we don't stop there and plant a second bush, which we feed. All this brings the bully to his senses and now he is alive again, but he can't get away from the lower bush and just walks in place. The second bush doesn't pull the bully, as it usually does, but sends its spike to the bully. Bramble Bash clearly wants a separate video about himself, like escape route and time. After my video of various experiments on bug zombies by ankylosaurs, I found that there are a bunch of more ideas that I didn't realize in that video. One of those ideas is to test what a broken healer would look like while healing a friend. As a matter of fact, you just saw how. He just pounces with his stuff on the poor zombie attacked by poker. Well, I'm even a little sorry now that I didn't realize I was using healer in that video, but I also forgot about another interesting option, namely the dodo bird. Although it belongs to the partially flying zombies, but ankylosaurus reacts to it, so it's possible, and I would even say necessary, to bug dodo. The attempts of these feathered beasts while packing plants look funny enough too, something like convulsions of a sick person. Well, its attempt to fly over the obstacles and is worthy of a special recognition. In fact, Imp and the bird are trying to fly upside down. Excellent coordination and sense of space. I'll give it a 5, and that's the end of the video. Be sure to give me a like if you enjoy my content. Special thanks if you leave a comment. That's all for today. See you in the new PvZ Madness.